Mr. President, I am exercising my right to respond to the allegations made by the Indian delegation. The statement by the Indian delegation represents a continued campaign of disinformation, deflection, and false narratives against my country. Why? Because India wants to be an occupier and a severe violator of human rights, but also wants to avoid global scrutiny and accountability for its crimes. Indian machinations have not and will not work. Despite its attempts to mask the grave human rights abuses in the occupied Jammu and Kashmir, various independent experts have time and again exposed India's prevarications. The UN High Commissioner's two updates to the Kashmir reports and periodic documentation by UN special procedures speak to the barbaric reality in the occupied region. Despite its repeated promises, India's invitation to UN special procedure mandate holders to Kashmir during its previous UPR has never materialized. Similarly, independent experts and media organizations continue to be denied access to the disputed territory. Mr. President, Jammu and Kashmir remains under the foreign occupation of India, a UN-recognized disputed territory whose final resolution through a UN plebiscite has been mandated by the UNSC for over 7 decades. Not only the world's so-called largest democracy remains a persistent violator of Kashmiri and Muslim rights, it also violates international law and UNSC resolutions. India has subjected the Kashmiri youth and women to the worst dehumanization campaign by invoking the fallacy of terrorism. Indian occupying forces, as well as a body of draconian laws, deny Kashmiris enjoyment of right to life, peaceful assembly, information, free speech, fair trial, and housing to quote a few. Mr. President, India spares neither its own journalists, nor Kashmiris, or even its neighbors when it comes to using the false pretext of terrorism and planning, financing, supporting terrorism in the neighboring countries. Kulbhushan Yadav, a serving Indian Navy commander, is the poster child of Indian terrorism inside Pakistan. Meanwhile, the Indian authorities are reviving the state-backed militia known as village defense groups in occupied Jammu and Kashmir as a vehicle to commit human rights abuses. The world has not forgotten how in February 2019, India attacked Pakistan by invoking the canard of terrorism. India's irresponsible actions endangered the entire region's peace and stability. Pakistan's restraint ensured that the escalation was contained. We should also not forget the travesty of justice in India in the case of Samjhauta Express terrorist attack. For over 15 years, justice eluded the victims of Samjhauta Express while their perpetrators roam freely in India. We invite India to introspect, mend its policies, and halt its systematic discrimination, hatred, and violence against its minorities. Instead of stereotyping, stigmatizing, and dehumanizing them, respect and protect their rights and freedoms. I thank you.